Will, I don't know. I don't know how it happened, and I'm glad that you, like in 37 and from 37 and Pantheon Digest, it sounds like you picked up on maybe my sole focus. It seems to be on everything. It's about virtue and character, everything,
Hmm.
because this was a kind of a obsession that or a realization that I came to from not just reading Cicero, but other classical works, the historians, the playwrights. It seems that in the ancient world and even in the medieval and Renaissance era, everything was about almost it was a critical part of a man's education was the training of character, the training of
Yeah.
virtue, education in virtue, training in morals,
Yeah.
building. I mean, knowledge. The idea that the mind is just this vessel to pour information into, that's a very recent conception. Historically, the purpose of a gentleman's education was to make him a better man, to train him
Yeah.
in the martial virtues, the virtues of character, to maybe leadership. And as you know, there are some essays in 37 about this. And
Yeah.
as I became aware of this, as I got older and older, and actually after I got out of the military, I realized that no one was being taught this. And then there
Hmm.
was a real anger. I felt honestly there was what drove me was a real sense of passion born out of honestly anger.
Yeah.
Not in a negative way, but in a positive way. Like we have got to do something. We have got to get this message out there because there's a concerted effort by some forces, I think by some forces in society, to strip these works of their true meaning, to
Hmm.
try to denigrate and to try to invalidate or palliate the real message behind or the substance of classical literature. They're
Yeah.
imbued, they're imbued with the idea of virtue and character and how if you do the right thing, good things will happen, and if you pursue an evil path, bad things will happen. This is in the very nature of the works, and for these professionals to downgrade this and to pretend it doesn't exist, to me is a sin of inexcusable proportions. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know why it makes some people so uncomfortable to talk about these things. And maybe it's because in our society today, we somehow feel that pointing out virtue or talking about this somehow means you're condemning some people. Well, you know what? If that's how people want to, I never saw it that way. I never,
Yeah.
to me, I always felt, I think certain personalities, I found it uplifting. Like when I would read it, I found it intoxicating. I found it
Yeah.
edifying. I found it inspiring. And I wanted to impart that inspiration to others. I didn't feel like anything was accusatory or anyone was being singled out. Or this is the mentality of people that are warped. I think to do
Yes.
that. It's a very strange. I don't know. But I think it comes down to this hesitation that we see in our society more and more to put down boundaries and barriers and say, okay, this is acceptable, this is not acceptable. This is the
Mhm.
way to do things, this is not the way to do things. And it's got nothing to do with being mean to anyone. It's got nothing to do with singling anyone out. You know, uh, I don't know. I don't want to sidetrack the discussion too much here, but
Go ahead.
I just feel like there's a real hesitancy that uh, people have been. You just see this everywhere. This abdication of responsibility. I think to speak the truth and to say the way things really are, not the way we in a way that's expedient. And
Mm.
it's it's um, it's really hurting us, man, because it prevents you from improving. It prevents um, you know it, institutions from getting better, from correcting errors and moving forward.